SGI AM 1100 Springfield, God's Informer.
Sam was a carpenter 50.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold, but things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve.
Oh, hello, hello. I had to let the Ridgetop Ramblers sing it out because David Mitchell is in the house. Played on that song, by the way. Thank you, brother. We appreciate y'all letting us use that song. That thing, you ought to have it out there where we can buy it and all that. Is it out somewhere where you can pick it up on YouTunes? Maybe you got to get in on that microphone, brother.
iTunes, maybe. I think it's on iTunes.
Okay, I'll have to check and see. But when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, man, that's a great theme song for a radio show. And a couple of years after that, then this happened, and there you go. And it's like, what's going on one street over from where you live in? And it's just a great song. I just love it. How are the Ramblers doing?
Ramblers doing good. We're doing real well. We got a festival coming up this weekend. We're going to be playing in Henderson, Kentucky.
Okay.
It's Bluegrass in the Park.
Okay.
And the Ramblers be playing on Friday. We play at 4 and we play at 7.
Okay.
But it's Friday and Saturday. It's going to be a lot of good bands there. It's a free event. It's in Henderson, Kentucky at the park downtown right on the Ohio River.
Okay.
So that's coming up, and we got Jerusalem Ridge coming up.
Yep.
And got a lot of music coming up here in the next few months.
This
so.
is the time of year too. I mean, it's always a good time, but the deep heat of the summer, not so much. But I love that we have the Kilgore Festival now in May. I just love it. And as we kind of just start coming into the wrap up of summer, you know, and you're getting a little bit cooler and all that kind of thing, that's a good time for some bluegrass music. So Jerusalem Ridge, Dennis has been pestering me about Jerusalem Ridge for years now. He's that guy that when he first started showing up at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, he'd come up to me in between the acts because y'all honor me and let me come in and help with that thing and keep the acts off and on the stage. And he'd come in. I need you to talk about this. And so I'm just teasing you. You know, we love talking about it. And y'all give away great tickets too. I mean, you give away these tickets that are really valuable. I mean, what did we do? Like 3 sets this year? I think 3 or 4 sets of tickets that we gave away that are valued at
$120.
Yeah,
They're for 4 days, all 4 days of the festival.
Yeah, so $120 ticket. We gave away a bunch of them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, and it's time, man. It's coming up. It's coming up quick. It's coming up quick. So, are you ready?
No.
Ha ha ha! That's hysterical. I mean, we've got. It's like I said, the weather should be getting better and better and better as far as cooling down. I have never been to the Bill Monroe home place, and I need to go because I'm from the Land Between the Lakes region. I grew up in West Kentucky. I'm from Mayfield. And so, I may have been by there and just didn't even realize it, you know, because Beaver Dam used to be where we would go for our, we would have dinners back there for basketball and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, we're all over the place, but it is, sounds like a wonderful time. Sounds like a wonderful time. How long has this been going on?
We started back in 2018, had a couple of good years, and COVID come along.
Mm-hmm.
So every year since then, it's just almost like starting over again. But 2011, they had one there. It was actually celebrating Bill's 100th birthday, and there was about 25,000 people that came in there that week. And it's all shaded, and Larry Sparks calls it a natural wooded amphitheater.
Oh, cool.
And just amazing how the sound carries up that hillside. But it's right beside the home place of Bill Monroe where he grew up at. So
that's cool. That's cool. And I've got to get by there and check it out. And I guess the festival weekend would be a great time to do that.
yes, it would.
So, now I notice you're on 9/11. Are y'all going to do any kind of thing?
Yeah, we'll have Lorraine Jordan going to be doing a military tribute that day.
Yeah. If you do anything, especially bluegrass people, they're not going to ignore that.
Nope.
Not at all. So, talk to me about what kind of, how did you get involved with this thing?
I went to the festival in 2018 and volunteered, and then I joined the board in 2019, and then 2023 I became chairman of the board.
Okay.
So
they're like, it's yours. Let's do it.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, when did you start your love of this is a question for both of you. We got an hour to talk, and they're like, what are we going to talk about? Well, we want to make sure you get this on your calendar. It's September 11th through the 14th. You can get $120 ticket in advance. It'll cost you $10 more at the gate. They've got the 4-day ticket comes with free camping. You can get an individual day ticket for $40 in advance or $45 at the gate. Or you can do the VIP package, and we'll talk a little bit about what that means for a few dollars extra, like $150 a ticket. But it's at JerusalemRidgeFestival.com, JerusalemRidgeFestival.com. So there's the facts right there on the front end. But tell me this, and I want you to answer this question too, David. How did you get interested in bluegrass music? Was it something that you just kind of grew up with, or do you play music at all? How did you get interested in bluegrass? Because it's its own thing,
It is, and I guess living close to Rosine, where bluegrass all got started, it's in your blood.
Gotcha.
And I don't play much anymore. I got my hand hurt, and so there's other things that I can do.
So you're from Rosine.
Outside of Rosine, yes.
Okay, okay. But like I said, we're not right side by side there from where I'm from, but not too far.
No.
Not too far at all. But so what did you play? You said
Guitar.
you used to play guitar. Did you have a little band at any time?
Nope.
Just dabbled.
Dabbled.
Just dabbled. Did you sing it all?
No.
Just kind of dabble. I got you.
Keep that to myself in the shower.
I understand. I love the Brown girls, Reagan,
Amelia and Reagan.
Amelia. Their granddaddy calls it happy music, and I love that because it is. Now, if you listen to some of the lyrics, not always, because some of the lyrics can be kind of like, kind of like the blues. Those some of those lyrics can get a little heavy sometimes, but usually in a fun kind of way. You know what I mean? It's kind of, they always have, you just always got that happy little twang to it. And I love that. Speaking of twang, David Mitchell, Ridgetop Ramblers, y'all are just really known for twanging up stuff people don't expect.
Well, yeah,
but I love it.
it either goes over well or it don't.
I love it.
And on the atmosphere, but
Yeah.
but it's something we like to do. We like to take songs and just sort of make them our own.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and you do well.
and it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. But back to your question, I think I started playing, Dennis, probably when I was 12.
Okay.
I was 12, and back in them days, the Bell Witch Opry was going on,
Oh, okay.
and we would go up, and I formed a little group in high school. It was 3 or 4 of us, and we would go up and we'd play on Friday nights at the Bell Witch Opry,
Okay.
an old Bell school, and it just sort of took from there, and it's been with me most of my life.
What did you call yourself back then? What was your band name?
Let's see here.
That's always fun. You can't remember? Isn't that funny?
Too long ago.
That's when I got a long time ago. And
That's funny.
we was Demetria
Mm-hmm.
White. She was in the band.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yep. She was in the band.
On our school board.
Yep.
One of our board of directors.
And we
That's funny.
We'd go up there. We'd all meet up there and we'd play, and we had a great time.
Oh, I got to ask her about this now.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What was it, bluegrass then, or
Yeah. Oh yeah.
really?
We played bluegrass and some country, and
Okay.
Wayne Price was played with us, Butch Yaunt, and
That's awesome.
But that was the start of us, and
That's fun.
and we would just go up there, and I don't have many memories without music.
Yeah.
I really don't. I
Yeah.
played for so long,
Yeah.
and I sort of had an aunt of mine that she at Christmas time she'd bring her guitar, and she sort of got my interest.
Okay.
She'd show me a few chords and this, that, and another, and it just went from there.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've been playing very much most of my life. But Dennis he'll tell you once it gets in you, it don't never leave you.
Well, that's the thing. I've loved music, and I've tried to play. I don't play in front of people because I'm just not very good. But you get it, and you just have a desire. And one of these days, I may sit down and get disciplined enough to practice to where I'll play in front of people, but not right now. And I have a little bit, but it's just it's a love that I remember I first fell in love with country music and bluegrass music and all of that, listening to my mom and daddy's records in one of those big old cabinet stereos
Yes.
with the lid that lifts up. I actually, in my audio video classroom at Greenbrier, I have one. I wanted to bring the one. There's the one that was in my home as a child is still in Kentucky. I don't know. It may be in the dumpster by now. We cleaned out Mom and Daddy's farmhouse, and I left it because it didn't work. But it's just one of those cool, iconic things from the 60s that if you grew up in the 60s, you probably had one. And and seeing that album spin around and, playing. Of course, I had a love of Johnny Cash early on, and Patsy Cline, and all those kinds of things. But then the bluegrass, I love what the girls' granddaddy Ken says, happy music, because I think that's what drew me to bluegrass early on. Was it was just so happy, and we'd go to picnics and things and fairs, and you would hear it because that's kind of like the anthem of our region early on. I mean, it really was. My parents actually, they went on for their honeymoon. They got married and they didn't go anywhere, that night because my daddy had the farm, and they took off the next day and came to the Grand Ole Opry, and that's where they went for their honeymoon, and so I just grew up with that whole mindset, and so you just kind of, like you said, it's in your blood. But now tell me this: how did you come up? When did the Ramblers start? And how'd you come up with that name? I always like the history. I love to see where people get their names,
We was, I guess it's been 20 years now. 21. We've been together about 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we had,
Yeah, they're saying you got to speak up. You got to get on that
sorry.
microphone. Paul Rainey's going.
we got,
Mhm.
I had a little band that I had started, and it was Steve Anderson was playing mandolin for me. He worked here for the city of Springfield,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife was playing bass, and Ed was playing banjo with me.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we come up with the name the Ridgetop Ramblers at that time, and then sort of tragedy struck, and I lost my wife, and it was funny. Jeremy had been coming up to Fed's in Greenbrier, Fed's Barbecue, and he would come up and he would listen to us play, and when that all happened, it just made me turn to music even more.
Right.
And Jeremy stepped up, and he said, I'll learn to play the bass. And he did.
Yeah.
He stepped up quick.
Yeah.
I mean, very quick. And then there along that time, Steve, he left the band. He moved back towards California, where he was from, and Jeremy says, "Hey, my buddy at Gibson, Jeff, he wants to learn to play the mandolin." And so we went out and bought a mandolin, and we just sort of started there in the living room at the house, and it wasn't long.
That's how Jeff started playing the mandolin? No way.
Sure enough.
Because, I mean, he plays so well. You think he's probably had his hands on that his entire life.
You would think so. You would think so, but he actually learned to play it very quick.
Yeah. Did he already play guitar or something?
Yeah, Jeff is a great musician. He's a great guitar player.
Okay.
And he's an incredible musician. That's all I can just say about Jeff.
Vocalist too, and you as well. Great vocals.
So we sort of blended, and we started doing our own thing, and then from there, it's just we've been together all these years.
Yeah. Well, that's wild.
You don't see too many bands that's been together as long as we've been together, and we're just like a band of brothers, really.
That's awesome.
And every time we play, we have fun. So it's all about having fun and playing. But
well, and you can tell.
Oh yeah,
you can tell you're having fun, and you can tell those relationships and your family. I mean, that's one thing. When I love hanging out with y'all because it's just I feel like I'm on the inner circle with y'all, because
You are.
well, thank
You
you.
are.
But I see y'all at the festivals. About the only time I see you, and then little drop-ins like this. But I need to be more intentional and get more. Life is just so dabbling busy. It's just hard to get to everything. And
It is.
I'm about to have my 5th grandchild. And I'm telling you, yeah, they just announced. So I had the secret for a while because they were my son and his bride, Jedediah and Christina, were supposed to go to Mexico for the mission trip that we go on every year this year. And like the week before we were to leave, she found out she was expecting their first child. And their doctor just said, you really just need to sit tight, and all this kind of stuff. And so they felt like they didn't need to go. So I knew then, because they had to tell us, because like, okay, we're not going to Mexico because of, but then we had to not tell. It felt forever. And they finally announced it just a few nights ago, and I was like, yes, I don't have to. I'm so afraid I was going to let it slip. So anyway, but yeah, we got our 5th grandchild, and those grandbabies keep you busy. You know that. How many you got now?
I got 2.
I got 2. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So I mean, it just keeps you busy, and so. But I will try to get to more shows. I don't know. My life kind of seems to be kind of getting into a little bit better rhythm to where I have a little more free time, But because I love listening to y'all play.
Well, we
I
have
love
a good
it.
time. We have a good time, and I mean, getting to go to a festival like Jerusalem Ridge for us is a huge treat.
Yes,
It is for us. It's look at the lineup.
I know. I was
mean,
just checking it out,
and,
man.
And when we get to play a festival like that, that's got that kind of lineup,
Mm-hmm.
it's an ego booster. It just makes you work that much harder to be able to to be able to play with some of the great people like Rhonda Vincent and them kind of people, and that's somebody that does that every day for a living. That's her living,
Yeah.
and and that's not our living, but it's our passion.
Right.
So.
And when are y'all when will y'all play? When will you play
Well,
during the festival? Has that been determined?
No, that's not been determined. But
Okay.
This year it's sort of got a little wonky. We've got another booking,
Okay.
but me and Dennis become friends
Right.
several years ago, and it's really neat because me and him can work together on these festivals, help promote each other's festivals for one thing. But it's nice to have somebody like Dennis because we can talk ideas. What's going to make this part of the festival better?
Right.
What can we do here to do this? And then there's always the sponsors is getting the money to pay these bands, and when we can sort of work together and get our ideas together, it helps because it's people. Like you, LaVern, that has us here that we can talk about this to get this information out.
Mm-hmm.
People really don't know what it takes to put on an event like this.
Right.
They really don't have an idea. It takes a lot of people working together to make it happen.
Right.
And it's not a one man show. It takes a whole lot to make it happen. And there's a lot of different, aspects to this that if, you can't control weather. There's no controlling weather.
Right.
And you've got to have a backup plan or a plan to be able to carry on. And it's just to make it successful and to make it, to make it at least pay off enough that you can do it again next year.
Right.
And
right.
so me and Dennis we've talked about it, and we've sat beside campers and talked late at night about it. If we don't work together, and all the festivals promote each other,
Mm-hmm.
then you start losing one here, and it don't never come back.
Mm-hmm.
You start losing one there, it don't never come back.
Right.
And for me and Dennis, it's about keeping the music alive, and keep it going. In today's times, it is a struggle. It is a struggle. I mean, and the price of a festival, You know, it's great if you have enough sponsorship that you can lower that price. But for most time, it's hard to do because you got to depend on the gate to help pay for the bands, and it's just a lot of hidden fees in there that you don't think about that cost a lot of money, and you know to make it work, you got to find that happy medium.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't overcharge, but you can't undercharge
Right.
to do it. So, and a free event is it's very rare.
Right.
And this Bluegrass Festival coming up this weekend, Bluegrass in the Park in Henderson, Kentucky, Friday and Saturday, it is a free event. But they have worked years. Mark Hargis has worked years there for the sponsorship. They've got some really great sponsorship to make it happen. And see, me and Dennis can talk to Mark. How are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
How are you pulling this revenue to be able to do this?
Yeah.
And there is a lot of different ways. You know, there's even some grants out there that you can apply for, that you can get to help you, and this kind of thing. And especially if it's working on the tourism grant, you know, they'll throw money your way to help, but it is a challenge to keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of time in booking. It's Dennis will tell you. I guess we was talking earlier. Just as soon as the festival's over with, he's booking for next year.
Yeah.
He's getting his lineup for next year.
Yeah. I figured the same thing with the Kilgore Festival too.
Yeah, and
It's just like you finish this one, let's get ready for the next.
Actually, we've already started on next year's.
Oh, how fun!
We haven't even had this year's yet, but
Do you always stick? Has this always been the time frame? Like the second weekend in September?
no, it used to be in October.
Okay.
And weather in October, you never know.
Yeah.
Most time it's rain. And actually, we moved it to September because we have it the weekend closest to Bill's birthday.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so it's
Okay.
always right around 12th, 13th, somewhere along in there. So
Okay. Okay. Well, and so tell me this. You know, we were talking about. I always like to know the background. What Jerusalem Ridge? Where did that name come from?
that's actually the name of the ridge behind where the house is. It was always called Jerusalem Ridge.
Oh, okay.
Where the house is actually Nickel Ridge.
Okay.
And but Bill grew up there. They fox hunted,
Yeah.
and a lot of that was done on Jerusalem Ridge, and that's where a lot of his songs, the Jerusalem Ridge, came from because he
We're inspired by.
spent so much time over there, and they actually cut timber on it. His family did, and then Uncle Penn was probably the biggest influence on Bill as far as music, and that
Mhm.
come from his mother's side of the family. And Bill's parents died when he was young, and Uncle Penn actually came there and lived with Bill, and then he didn't like it, so they moved to his cabin. That's where the song Uncle Penn's Cabin came from.
Okay.
And it's the original cabin's not there now, but they rebuilt one. It's a little bit bigger. So Uncle Penn's Cabin's in Rosine. Bill's home place is in Rosine. Bill is buried in Rosine. We got the Bill Monroe Bluegrass Museum and the Rosine Barn Jamboree, which has been having live music every Friday night since 1992.
Oh, wow.
And so it's all about the history. And even at the barn, Bill played there in 1995, and his footprints are on the stage where he stood there in 1995. And when somebody comes to the barn and plays for the first time, we give them a certificate that says they stood in the footprint of Bill Monroe at the Rosine Barn Jamboree.
Oh, that's fun.
So-
It's kind of like standing in the circle at the Opry,
Exactly.
you know?
And I've had people to cry when I give them that certificate.
Oh, that's
So-
really cool. That's really cool. So is that festival, the weekly show, is it a pure bluegrass show or is it country, bluegrass, or
It's bluegrass, country, and gospel.
bluegrass, country, and gospel? Okay.
We have a
'Cause
variety.
yeah.
The
Very good. I'll bet I've had friends that played there because, like I said, I'm from West Kentucky, and so I know Beaver Dam's more central, but Beaver Dam's just a place we were all, I mean, I guess maybe it's because we used to go through Beaver Dam when we went to state tournament for basketball. Or if we had to go to Lexington, we had to go through Beaver Dam.
Yes.
You know, so that was the thing. And so we were in Lexington a lot. So, so that's why Beaver Dam stands out as a childhood memory for me, I guess. But I had, where I grew up, Stephen Curtis Chapman's from. Stephen Curtis Chapman's from West Kentucky. He's from that area. And his daddy, Herb Chapman, taught everybody in West Kentucky to play guitar. And I still have friends that stayed with it and play, and they play at shows around the region. And I'll bet you there's one or two that come to mind. I need to ask them if they've ever played there, because I'll bet you they have. Because they'll go different places, you know, and still play because they fell in love with it, like you said, when you were a kid. And like me, they stayed with it, you know. But I had a lot of friends that played and sang, and still know 2 or 3 of them. They're still doing it. So I'll bet you they've been at that festival on Friday night.
The bands that come and play at the barn, they play for free.
Yeah.
We don't charge anybody to get in.
Yeah.
It's all for the history part of it, and we do pass a hat to help pay for. We have air conditioning now. We just got that about a month ago. So
That's nice. So what time does that start and all those things? Because that would be fun to check out.
We actually start up. We go from the beginning of April to the middle of December, every Friday night. At 6 o'clock, we start out. We have 30 minutes of open mic, so anybody that wants to play can come and play.
Oh.
And then we have 30 minutes for the house band, and then we book 2 bands for an hour apiece.
Okay. Well, how fun! I bet that's a real popular thing too, isn't it?
And it's just it's kind of like the home place. It's just a neat place, and
do people bring their dinner? And
there's a restaurant next door, so they
Okay.
come and eat, and then come to the bar and listen to the music.
can you bring food into the
Yes.
barn?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's actually an old barn, is what it is.
Oh, fun.
And the store next door, Hoyt and Eleanor Bratcher used to run it, and they would jam over there, and they'd close down at night, and they'd jam on the front porch.
How funny.
And a lot of times they said the next morning the sun come up and they were still out there jamming.
Uh-huh.
And then in 1992 they moved into the barn,
That's fun.
and just because it got so big, and we've been doing it every Friday night since then.
You know, the Brown girls, they say that the thing that really was a game changer for them in their musical journey and really getting good was when they sit down with others in those jam sessions.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about that, and it's something that seems to be unique to our area, to this region, is you see people just getting together and just playing together. And it's so special. And I mean, and you'll find yourself walking up to these areas where people are playing together. And the next thing you know, you've been there an hour and you don't even realize it, because they just go from one good song to the next. And just you watch people play and you're just like, how in the world do you just get drawn into it? So that's really cool. I love that. That sounds like a lot of fun. That Friday night jam. That sounds like a great time. Has Ramblers gone up there and done anything with y'all?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've Dennis got us in the barn. What was it, 3 or 4 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess it was, and we have it. To me, that's one of the most special times, because we can go up there and if we play Jerusalem Ridge, we'll just stay, and after we get done playing, we'll go to the barn and play.
Yeah.
And the barn is unique within itself.
Yeah.
It is really unique, and when you if you ever get a chance to go, it's a lot to do in that little bitty town of Rosine.
Okay.
The restaurant right beside of it is great food. You can go over to the barn and listen to music, or you can walk up the street and see Bill and Uncle Pen's grave
Yeah.
in the cemetery. And Bill's old home place is it's basically just like the song said. He lived high on the hill above the town.
I love it.
So Jerusalem Ridge is actually just right above the town.
Okay.
And getting to see the museums, the one downtown, Rosine, what is the hours on that?
They open at 10 in the morning and close at, I believe it's 4:30.
4:30?
And right now they're open on Saturdays through September.
So that's a neat thing to see. He's got a lot of Bill stuff in there and in his history.
The last Cadillac that he had is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fun.
And then, of course, the old home place up on the ridge it's neat to see how Bill lived when he was young.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beautiful place. I mean, very remote.
Yeah, it's a mile off the road.
And it's very remote, but the house they've restored it and it's in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
It looks just really, really good. But if you go up there and make a half a day trip or something, or a day trip, it's a lot to see.
If you go up, like you could go up on the afternoon, maybe lunchtime or on Friday, and then stick around for the barn. And hear
a lot
some
of people
music.
do that. They'll come and tour
That would be-
everything.
yeah, that would be a way to spend a Friday for sure.
And you meet a lot of people from everywhere.
I bet.
They're coming in from every direction into that little town.
I bet.
It's really, really neat.
And even a couple of years ago on a Friday night, we had they were college kids, and two of them were from Belgium and another one from up in the Middle East, up in the eastern United States somewhere. But they had planned their trip a year ahead, and they found the Rosine Barn, and they planned their trip where they could be at the Rosine Barn on a Friday night. They were riding their bicycles across the United States.
Oh, fun.
So they were there that night. The girl, she sat outside the door and cooked pasta in a little old pot. And then when it was over that night, we have a pavilion beside of it, and they asked if they could set up their tent and spend the night there. And I told them yes, they could. So they got their tents out and set them up and air mattresses and spent the night there. The next morning they were gone.
Oh, wow.
And then even we've had people from other countries come in. And one Friday night we had two couples. They were both from England, but they weren't there together. But they just happened to show up at the Rosine Barn on the same night.
Oh, funny.
So,
That's cool. Now, you mentioned camping. Are there any other accommodations as far as hotels in Rosine?
in Beaver Dam, there's hotels. And
Yeah, Beaver Dam. How far is Beaver Dam from Rosine?
6 miles.
Oh, yeah. That's nothing.
Yeah, we
That's
got
nothing. Okay.
the festival. We have camping. It's primitive camping. There is campgrounds there too.
Tell people what primitive camping means.
No electricity and no water.
There you go. Primitive camping means exactly what you think. It means you got your tent in the woods, and there you go. But that's that's what you do at Kilgore. Is we have primitive camping, but we do have a restroom now. Oh, we're pretty stoked about that. That's pretty exciting. But
we still have porta potties.
you do. What about the barn? When you come out to the music at the barn, do they have restroom
Yes, we have
facility in the
restrooms.
barn?
Yes.
Awesome. That's great. I love that. We need to pause and take a break. But good times. I mean, we're talking bluegrass today, and we're going to continue this conversation with Lee Marie. She's going to come in, and she is going to continue to talk about the festival, because we'll make sure you get this on your radar. And it is September 11th through 14th. And Lee Marie's telling you got to stay on that microphone. I've been on him. That microphone's turned all the way up, Lee Marie. I can't do anything more with my end of it. For some reason, that microphone, even though it's a better one, it just does not pick up as well as that one. I don't know what the deal is, but no, I just know they tell me what buttons to push. So I've pushed all the buttons, I promise you. But Jerusalem Ridge, the festival is coming up September 11th through the 14th, and it's at the Bill Monroe Home Place, just outside of Beaver Dam, Kentucky, in Rosine, more kind of central Kentucky. But place I'm quite familiar, like I said, with Beaver Dam, but I don't think I've ever really gone to Rosine and realized where I was and what was going on. It's got to be a day trip for me, and
It's only about an hour and a half from here.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. And I mean, this is a great lineup. The show is going to be fabulous. You can go to www.jerusalemridgefestival.com, and you can see the list of the folks that are going to be appearing. You can get details on getting tickets. Get a ticket in advance. Going to save you a little bit of money. You can also get a VIP. What is a VIP? Let me do my break, and when we come back, let's talk about what a VIP ticket gets you. Because, I mean, for just a few dollars more, you can get a VIP ticket. And, of course, it says details on the website, but we'll let you unpack that for us in just a minute. I want to talk to you about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty, one of our I mean, he's on the board with you for Kilgore and bluegrass. They even have their own little bluegrass band. You know, he plays as well. So, I mean, just everybody's into this stuff. But Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty, they're always out sponsoring festivals and doing the things. And I always like to check their social media postings just to see what's new and what's going on whenever we do their ad. And this is pretty cool, y'all. They just put this up in the last 24 hours, but there's lake lots at Barren River Lake starting at $15,000 that are available. That's something. When people have an opportunity to get a home by the lake, they jump on it. These won't last. So if you're interested in a lake lot, you need to get in touch with Barry or Rebecca Richards, 615-504-7424 or 615-504-7425. Again, that's 615-504-7424 or 615-504-7425 if you're interested in these lake lots at Barren River Lake starting at $15,000. You can call them or text them and say, hey, I need some details while they're still available. Check out with Barry and Rebecca no matter what you're doing. If you're looking for a piece of land to build on, if you're looking for a house already established and you want to have everything just move in, if you're wanting to sell property, buying or selling, it does not matter what side of the table you're going to be on. They are the perfect folks to help you. Barry is a broker here in Springfield. Rebecca has an agency office up in White House. Together, they put those together to bring you Exit Prime Realty, a new branch in the Exit tree. They've always been with the Exit Company ever since Rebecca got started, and she's been at it a while. She's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. And she also says if you want to be mentored into real estate, you cannot beat the program that they have through Exit, and Barry and Rebecca would love to help mentor you into that. They're Cross Plainians. They've been there for about as long as I've been in Springfield, 30-ish years. And so this is home now. And so they specialize in Roberts County properties, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky because, like myself as well, they are originally from Kentucky. So they understand the nuances of living in a state with a state income tax and working in one that doesn't have one. You got to think about that in the bottom line and how much home you can buy and what it's going to do to your budget. Got to mention, too, that Barry is that marketer. He was in a marketing career for many, many years. He brings that expertise to the table when you're selling property, and it's priceless. Connect with him at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or robertscounty.com, and let them know U-Turn sent you. Dennis, talk to me about what do you get if you get a VIP ticket to Jerusalem Ridge Festival?
The VIP, they get to sit right in front of the stage. We have an area that's roped off. They also get to mingle with the bands and eat. We have food behind the stage that they get to do that.
Oh, okay.
We have a little goodie bag for them. They get 10% off at the merch tent. And they also get to tour one of the artist buses.
Fun.
So
that's a good ticket. I mean, very, very definitely. Now, you say they've got some seats roped off. So, is there seating, or do we, like at the Kilgore, we a lot of people will bring chairs.
Yeah.
We do have some bleachers. So, what is the seating? Do we need to bring our chairs, or
everybody needs to bring chairs.
Okay.
I will tell you that it's on a hillside. We got blocks of wood out there scattered around, so you can put on your chair legs to make them level.
Oh, I got you. Because
So-
I mean, trying to sit on that hill, so.
But it's a beautiful place, and it's shaded, and
Sounds wonderful. Sounds absolutely wonderful. Sounds like a really good time. Anything that we're missing about the festival that you want to, I mean, we're going to keep talking about it, and we'll hit the tickets and the website and all that before we wrap up our time together. Lee Marie, they'll be coming in with the Go Show right straight up at 8 o'clock, and they'll continue to talk about the festival. Anything that you're just right off the gate saying, well, LaVern hadn't asked me this, anything that we've missed. I want to talk. I see you got Autumn in the Briar here. We got to touch on that because you'll get in trouble if we don't. You won't be able to go home if you.
A lot of work.
David, you didn't mention.
A lot of work goes into Autumn in the Briar.
Yes, it does. Before we slip over to that, do you have anything else you want to specifically mention that you think we haven't touched on? Maybe think about it, and we'll let him. And you're gonna get right on that. You're gonna eat that microphone, brother.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, and speak up. So, well, anyway, Autumn in the Briar. I mean, I can't believe it's time for this. I mean, it's coming up fast. When is this?
It is. It's going to be September the 20th.
Wow.
It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it's for the Historical Society, and It's one of their biggest fundraisers,
Right.
and they're trying to raise enough money to help on the restoration of the old house and get it back where it really needs to be. But they'll have a book sale from September the 3rd to September the 27th to also help with that with the fundraisers. So be fish and barbecue there. Gonna have probably 20 or 30 vendors, bake sale, silent auction, and be some live music there. And we ain't got. The Ramblers are going to be there, and I think Strings and Beans is going to be there, and we're looking for some more bands to be there. And so it'll be some good music too. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
so if you're in the Greenbrier area or just want to come by and check us out, that'd be great.
And if you've not spent time in Greenbrier, well, you need to, because I teach up in Greenbrier, so I'm part of the family now up there, and it's just a fun little community, close knit community, and you will just be so welcomed, and everybody's so gracious and welcoming and hospitable. And you mentioned the book sale. I love this because people will donate books, and then you can go, and it's just a neat little concept, just a fundraiser.
Absolutely.
And all kinds. If you've got books in your house, you're like, I just need to get rid of these books. Take them to the museum, and they'll put them in their book sale. And then when they resell them, and you get amazing deals on some great authors. I'm an avid reader. I've kind of gone more to digital reading, but there's nothing like opening a book and flipping through a book. But if you really want some great deals on books, and sometimes you find some really unique books. My daddy collected books. And I know the kind of things he loved. He would get unusual history books and things like that. And I've just had so much fun going through his stuff. But I love going through book sales because you find treasures. Because I know what kind of books to look for. There's a few key titles. And, man, you come across one of those that you've been looking for, it's like, ooh, it's like gold. But that's where you find them, are in these book sales, And it's just it's a great fundraiser, great way to facilitate doing that. So tell them the date again of Autumn in the Briar, and can I keep this flyer?
Absolutely, I brought it to you.
I'll put it in my calendar, and that way I won't forget to call them closer in and have them in.
Absolutely, September the 20th.
Okay, September the 20th.
Yep.
We've got Autumn in the Briar, and I appreciate you bringing that in and getting that on my radar for sure.
9 to 3.
9 to 3. 9 to 3. All right, and it's a beautiful little place too where they hold that festival. I mean, it's just a great event. It's a great event. So come out to.
It's 825 West College Street in Greenbrier. So right at the red light.
Can't miss it, y'all.
Miss it.
Come on down, be a part of it. Now, anything that we're missing on Jerusalem Ridge that you want to mention on the festival?
One thing, the connection with Springfield is Bill passed away in Springfield, Tennessee.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
Really?
1996. He was born in Rosine in 1911 and passed away 4 days before his birthday in 1996. But he was passed away here in Springfield, Tennessee.
What happened? Was he sick and in the hospital here? Or, I mean, I'd never heard that story. I didn't know that happened.
He had medical problems. He had heart problems, but it was. I don't think anybody thought it was going to be that quick, but
okay.
But he was here in Springfield when he passed.
Okay, I never realized that.
He was in the facility over there behind the Walmart.
Okay, is where
it was at.
Yeah, I had no idea. All these iconic greats that I never got a chance to meet. Everybody, because I've been in radio in Nashville since 1984. And people just think, well, you've been in radio, all these people. But because I was in primarily talk radio, and then I never really got to work in country, but just for a very brief time with Jerry House, and I was kind of like a placeholder until they found their traffic reporters. I only got about a year really in country. So I never got to meet all the cool people. And that's one of the only things I regret about my radio career is I never got to meet Johnny Cash or any of those guys. But man, I would have loved to have met Bill Monroe, and I was around, but that's just so cool. Did you ever get to meet him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I figured you did.
Yep.
So I heard he was just incredibly gracious.
He was a tall man. He was a tall man, very tall.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And he was big stature.
Okay.
Yeah, had big hands, and
Okay.
he was a very, very nice gentleman.
Yeah, I heard he was just great. I heard
He was
just
known
great.
for giving kids quarters.
Oh, how funny.
And at his gravesite up there, people leave quarters all the time.
Oh,
So,
well, I'm glad you told me because I'd be like, why in the world are all these quarters up here? Because he handed quarters to kids.
yes.
How sweet is that? That is precious. That is so cute. I love that.
And some people always talk about he didn't like Rosine. The reason he never went back to Rosine because after he left, the family farm got sold for back taxes, so he didn't have nothing to come home to. But he did come up there one time, and he thought somebody was living at the home place, and he went back there and there wasn't nobody there. So that's when he wrote the song about the light in the window when he left walking
Wow.
back out, and but he did want to go back to Rosine because that's where he wanted to be buried at, and he is buried there. His family's buried there. Uncle Penn is buried there, all in the cemetery.
Uh-huh.
And so, yes, Rosine was important to him.
Well, I get that because I mean, I'm from a farming family, and that's something that just gets. You talk about things that just kind of get in your blood. If you're born into a farming family, it is just entrenched in you, maintaining the land for the next generation. That's just something that's entrenched in you. And so when you have those tragedies where, I had an uncle who lost their place, heartbreak, literal, and I've known other farmers, and I'm just so proud of my brother that he's been able to keep it together. He's third generation now, and it's hard. It is so difficult. And, I get that. I'm totally that if that was the case on their family farm, it would be heartbreak because they tried. There was a industrial park that came in, and they wanted all the land right there by our house, and they tried to talk my family into selling out, and we were concerned they were going to force them out at one point, eminent domain kind of thing, and it didn't happen, thank the Lord, but. If something like that had happened, I remember having the conversation with my mom and dad that they were just going to have to leave because they couldn't stay there. It would be too hard. And I get that, man. That's a piece of Bill. Man, thank you for sharing that because I had no idea that he had that. So when did they get possession of the homestead again? How did that happen then? Did he come back in and buy it after his success, or did it become a set aside as a historic place?
Oh, the farm is still owned by the same family that bought it.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
the house
okay.
in 5 acres, the county bought that.
Okay.
And so it's owned by the county now, and we have a Bill Monroe Foundation board, and we're the ones that put the festival on now.
Okay. Because I thought, with his success, he might come back and try to, repurchase it.
And when he bought Bean Blossom, he always said the reason he bought it was because it reminded him of Rosine.
Oh,
So-
okay. Interesting. That's just amazing. I love that backstory. Lee Marie, I know you've got a question that we missed.
I just wanted to know if they want a 5-minute break, I could come in and talk about a couple classes coming up if they want a break between this show and my.
Do y'all want to take a break before she comes in? We can do that. It's been nice seeing you guys. And
Thank you for
glad
having
you're
us.
kicking and doing great.
Thank you.
God is good, and good to see you. And I don't know that we'll make it to the festival, but we just never know. I'll make it to one of those barns. I'm going to come up to that. So you are in charge of that.
I booked the bands for the barn, yes.
So if I come up to a barn, I just don't know what we've got going this weekend. It's just, I'm still kind of in my head trying to figure all my schedule out. But what a wonderful festival, and we'll keep talking it up for sure. Can I get T-shirts on the web page, or do I have to get those at the festival?
You can get them both.
Okay, because y'all have great T-shirts. We love our Bluegrass T-shirts. Lee Marie's coming in sporting one. And anyway, thank you guys. Love y'all. Good luck with the festival, and we'll keep talking it up, and I'll be seeing you around town, brother. I'll see you at this. I'm going to keep this. All right. Thank you, bro. And Lee Marie's going to come in and talk about, y'all can go on out. I'm going to let her just slide in. I'm going to save my UPS ad for tomorrow because I know Lee Marie's going to talk about them. And so we'll just kind of spread the love and talk about our UPS store, which is a print shop and a place for you to have a mailbox, and you can get notary and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk about them a little bit more tomorrow, but I do want to remind you that Bernard Farms, they are cutting beef. They had a little bit of a scheduling snafu yesterday because she had some people that was going to work and they couldn't come in. And so they had first days of school and all the things. And they got some of the beef cut yesterday, but they're going to be cutting beef, probably the rest of it today. If you want fresh beef, once it hits that counter, you know it is gone like that. So just real quickly, want to remind you, if you want fresh beef, you got to get by Bernard Farms Custom Cuts and Market because they are cutting beef this week. Lee Marie needs to talk to me about dancing because here's the thing. Now that I've got all my knees work, my hips work, all these things, I got to get back dancing again.
All right.
The first time I came to some dance classes early on, and it was when my knees were, I couldn't get my rhythm going because my knees wouldn't move. And so I quit trying to dance at that point. So now I'm ready to get going again.
Awesome. All right.
And here's the
we have
thing.
witnesses.
I have a wedding coming up.
Oh.
And my youngest son is getting married. And I've only at one of my children's weddings was there, and that was at Jedediah and Christina's wedding, was there a son and mother dance.
Oh.
Some do it and some don't.
Right.
So the other two that are married, we didn't do that. So I wasn't really expecting it from Elijah. But he goes, hey, what song do you want to do the mother-son dance? I was floored. I was like, oh. And I gave him a title. I said, check this out. And I don't know it's what we're going to use. But once we determine it, I need you to help me. Can you help me with that?
Oh, I do. Mother, son, father, daughter.
Yeah.
Have them. I mean, yes, it takes all the stress away.
Yeah.
It takes all the questions away. So definitely.
But what we'll have to do is Mark will have to stand in for my son, and we'll have to keep it basic enough that then we can show Elijah.
And then you can video it and send it to Elijah.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. Because he's in Huntsville.
Yeah.
And getting him down here, it's just like pulling teeth, especially with them they have a wedding coming up.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, trying to get them here is just about impossible right now. Justifiably so, because, they work and they're busy and they're planning a wedding. And they're doing it all themselves because they're, older, and that's what you do when you're a little bit older. But so talk to me about these classes you got going. How can I get in touch with you to do all that?
Well, the thing is, too, is that Well in the Square, we're also doing a whole bunch of other types of classes now, too. So I do want to mention, yes, line dance is every Tuesday, Thursday, 11 to 11:15, and every Tuesday night, 5:30 to 6.
Okay.
Cindy Norton also does a fabulous $5 band class, which is so good for every level because all the bands, there are different levels of bands.
Right.
So depending on how you feel that day.
And she's wonderful.
She is. And so hers is always right before mine on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hers is 10 to 10:30. And right now for the month of August, she is doing a 6:15 to 6:45 p.m. on Tuesday.
Okay.
So that's that. But yes, I do a lot of couples lessons. I've taught thousands of people.
Yeah.
And so I love doing first dances and wedding party dances. I also have a couple of things on the books coming up real soon that I'm teaching at receptions because,
fun.
When maybe like the bride and groom are getting their photos done and the everybody's bored.
Great idea.
Well, I teach, little, couples dance, or I can teach line dance during that time. And there's a great icebreaker. People meet each other and they just have fun instead of waiting for the photos to be done. Right. So, and also I just lead some party dances at the reception and stuff like that. So I do that. But then also it's really fun. And Steven and I have been having fun. Matter of fact, he calls it Monday Club. And that is now on Mondays from 10 to 11:30. We have sewing classes.
Oh, funny.
Yes, we're both taking them.
I saw some pictures of that, and I thought, what are they doing?
Yes, I ran into a lady at Crossroads. She used to homeschool all her children. She had 5 children, and she used to homeschool them. And so she has all these skills. She's a retired nurse. She's a fabulous seamstress. So the first Monday, we got everything we wanted altered. It was so much fun. And then this last one, we learned how to quilt. She is so amazing. Her name is Carla. And so every single Monday, 10 to 11:30, she's doing a different type of sewing situation. Super patient lady, which is great because all of us are beginners. And then from 2 to 3:30, she's doing book arts. So we made these beautiful journals. She takes a manila envelope, folds it in half, puts shoe polish on it, makes it look old, and has all the pictures and embellishments to put on them. We had so much fun. Stephen was in there too. A 12-year-old boy was in there. We all had such a great time. So every Monday from 2 to 3:30, she's doing book arts where we're creating some type of journal or things like that.
I know what I want to do on the Monday of fall break now. I want to come and hang out with y'all.
Yeah, it's so much.
You
So
know.
Steven is so funny because he calls it Monday Club now because
love it.
he stays there for both of those, and he's like, oh, I love Monday Club.
That's hysterical. That is so fun. But that is so neat. What you're doing with that space has been just wonderful.
It's all a God thing. I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting
totally.
to do any of it. I'm just, Lord, send whoever you want to teach whatever you want. And so we've got a brand new logo. You guys are going to be seeing it real soon. It's adorable. Terry Morris did an absolutely amazing job on it. I can't wait to get this on everything. But here you go, Miss LaVern. You can see it right there. Doesn't that look cool?
I love that. I love
So
that.
we are well in the square. I know y'all can't see it here. You're going to have to go to my Facebook page. But underneath it says wellness of mind, body, and spirit.
I love that.
So it's totally uplifting, positive, and we just have a great time. So also Shannon Baumgartner did some classes, is doing classes, and then Rhonda Rastelli as well. And
Who's
those were
Rhonda Rastelli?
Gary Rastelli's wife. Gary does Rich Top Mower. And
Oh, yeah, of course. I know Gary very well.
so Rhonda did a mental health one because she is a psychiatric nurse practitioner.
I did not know
now,
that.
and she was just a regular nurse, but then she went back because she realized that
Yeah.
not everybody looks at everything,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah,
she is fascinating. And Shannon, of course, their kickoff talks, which were the last Monday of July, were just awesome. People got so much out of it because Shannon, does Biblical Foundations of
right,
Freedom.
right.
So she's
Great
going to be
stuff.
doing some of that too. So we just have a great group of positive people doing classes. So here's how you find us, guys. We're at 600 South Main Street in Springfield in the square. We are right next to Crossroads Christian Bookstore. And then now we're also inside Crossroads because there's a big ballroom when you go downstairs. And we're doing like our line dance classes that are bigger. We're doing the bigger stuff down there. Matter of fact, the next TFA, which is Monday, the 11th, is going to be held in that big ballroom again because American Legion is doing some renovating.
Oh, okay.
So we were there last month, and in the well in the square, and it was great. I mean, we had 50 people for dinner with dinner tables. It totally fit. So TFA will be there this Monday as well, guys. So help spread the word because we just got the information on that.
Okay. And that's a space, if you're familiar with Crossroads, it's where they used to have their consignment books and all of that. I write about, in my book, Jesse, I write about going into Crossroads and my parents being downstairs going through the consignment books. And that's that space where they used to have all the consignment
And if
books out.
people have been around even longer than you, they will remember buying shoes down there when it
Yes.
was Randolph House.
Yes, I don't remember, but I had heard
Yeah.
that too.
There
That's
used to be a
fascinating.
golden goose that you'd pull an arm and
Yeah.
you'd get a prize.
Oh man, I forgot about that. We had one of those golden goose. We had a shoe store in downtown Mayfield.
I'm looking for one of those golden geese
Well,
to put.
yeah. Wouldn't that be fun to get
That
your hands on?
would.
Yeah, I had forgotten. We had one of those. I forget the name of the. It wasn't Lakoski's because that was the sporting goods store, but they may have been the shoe store too. But I can remember that. That's cool.
So, anyways, come on out. I do
childhood
have
memories.
I do have a wellness. I mean, a website, and I do have a Facebook page. The
Tell 'em
Facebook.
how to get to it.
Okay, so
We'll reset and we'll get ready for the ghost show.
all right, so Well in the Square does have a Facebook page. It's best to go to that right now because we're still working on the website. But if you want to pre-register for anything, because there are early bird prices for all of these things, you can go right into Crossroads because right at their table there, you can register. And what's great is Crossroads is open 10 to 6 Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays 10 to 3. So they're open a lot more than I am. So if you want to pre-reg, get that early bird special, go to Crossroads, or you can Venmo me by just private messaging me.
Okay, sounds good. Love you, friend.
All right.
Lee Marie, stay tuned. She's coming up with the Go Show for another full hour of local programming. Don't you love it? And I'll be back with One Street Over tomorrow. We're going to be talking to our public defender, Matt Eggleston. I think I'm saying that last name right, but he has a testimony that I've heard bits and pieces of it. I've never heard it in its entirety, but he's going to share it as we're building up to Recovery Fest, which is this weekend. It's going to be on Saturday. I get to MC it. So thankful that they're giving me that honor to do that. And so we'll be there, but it's from 5 to 9 at the fairgrounds right here in Springfield. And Matt's going to be talking about that and sharing his story of recovery as well. You don't want to miss it. That's tomorrow morning. And then, of course, we'll spill right over into having a visit from the United Way again. And that's all tomorrow right here on 1100 WSGI. Stay tuned. Lee Marie and the Go Show coming up in just a few minutes, about as quick as it can, about the amount of time that it takes us just to make the switch. So stay with us. We'll be right back.